Hello everybody, Sneaky Chiefy here, bringing you another tournament replay from some of our TAW members. The two TAW members playing in this tournament game are Blank Spot, as the Huns in red, and Gothfather, or Stigs, as I'll call him here, playing as the Berbers in blue. They're playing against Champollion, who is the Lithuanians in green, and Shark Norton in yellow, who's playing as the Franks. So, interesting, two cavalry civs going up, and then Berber's actually a really good counter to that. And Huns, we might expect, a lot of cavalry is going to be on the map, camel archers and whatnot. Huns, we might expect to see go cavalry archers, for example. But the tournament that this is, it's less of a tournament, more of a league match. This is AOE leagues 2v2. AOE leagues, they play weekly, and then kind of English Premier League style, where teams of two face off every week to play against each other in a two-game format. Winner, if someone wins both games, they get 3 points. If the two games go 1-1, both teams get 1 point. And obviously, if someone doesn't win any games, they don't get any points that week. At the end of the season, they tally up all the points, and the top two or three, I think it's top three players in each division either get upgraded a division, and the bottom three get relegated to the lower division. So, like I said, kind of like English Premier Leagues. This is a 2v2 style. AOE League also has a 1v1 style league setup as well. If you're interested, I'll put the link to their Discord in the video description. And this is the first of two games that we'll see between these four opponents. And the map is Golden Pit, so there's a lot of gold in the middle and a relic, and some stone that can be gotten. We'll expect to see players drop some castles there to get control of the middle as soon as they can, and some TCs to start collecting that all-precious resource. We'll also see some walling. It's kind of like Arabia. When you're not thinking about the middle, this map can be a little bit like Arabia with some chunky wood lines that players will look to wall off and secure their base, because side raids often occur, especially when a lot of focus is on the middle. Players will send some raiding parties around the edges of the map to harass their opponents back at home. So we'll have to see. Especially with all these cavalry civs out there, I'm going to expect to see some raiding. And we can see blue Stigs is already walling off with houses. Shark Norton as the Franks doing the same. Idleville here. He's not gonna like that. Let's see if I can get, here we go. Already a minute and a half of idle villagers and 30 seconds of idle TC from Shark Norton. Definitely not ideal when you're looking at 5 minutes into the game and you have 3 minutes of idle villager time already. Meanwhile, Gothfather's got 0 idle villager time, 17 seconds of idle TC time. There's 0 idle TC and 17 seconds of idle vill. Excuse me. Huns are interesting, so we'll see if he tries to wall off with palisade walls. Blank Spot here in red. But Huns don't need to build houses. In fact, they can't build houses even if they wanted to. So it's a bit tricky. Yeah, he's already palisading off some space. It's a bit tricky to wall off your spot as the Huns. You can't use houses to help you in that effort. Other than that, seems pretty standard. Bunch on food, 4 or 5 on wood. Villagers walling. Lithuanian player doing the same. We might expect to see the Lithuanian player go for relic control. He's got 1 in easy reach over here, 2 in relatively easy reach in between him and his teammate, and 1 in the middle. But he will have, if he can get this one, he'll have 4. But I'd say that this one is fairly out of reach, as is squarely in blue's possession. So we'll have to see. But 3 of them within equidistant to the Greens town center. Initial impressions, if we look at the score on the right, Gothfather and Blank Spot are technically in the lead, but it's minimal at this point. Feudal Age being clicked up by, let's see, Shark Norton, it looks like. I am colorblind, so excuse me. Actually, that looks more green, so I think that's Yeah, it's Champollion. That's a great name, by the way. Champollion is the one who's clicked up the feudal age there. He clicked up relatively early. 18 villagers. Huh. Interesting. Feudal age clicking in from red now at 22 vils. Blue's got 25. They'll have a little bit of stronger eco when they hit feudal age. So sure, green hit feudal age first, but the question is what's he gonna do with that? He's building a stable, so we'll probably see scouts from the Lithuanian player, not too surprising. As he continues to wall off, he's sending a lot of ills out to build one house. Well, no, lumber camp. Okay, that makes a bit more sense. Meanwhile, Stiggs, look at all this, spending a lot of time walling. So he's got a higher vil count than everybody else at 27, but if you look at how many vils are walling here, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 3 of them aren't working. They're just walling. 4 of them aren't working. But I think it'll be worth it, especially with the Lithuanian player on your side to protect against the impending scout raid that always comes. And he's done a fairly good job of securing his space. In fact, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see if those scouts can get over to the far side before this wall completes. Red, on the other hand, also walling. I don't know if he meant to do that. That might come back to bite him. We'll take a look at the green player. He's got a long way to run. Stiggs will have seen these guys probably too. Meanwhile, red checking out green. Oh, watch out. Oh. Oh, oh, look at the micro. He saves the scout. Ah, amazing. Good job, Leg Spot. Cheers to you on that one. And Stiggs drops the blacksmith to fully wall just in time. So, it's a lot of food eco from the green player invested in scouts that aren't going to do anything. Green will probably go to red at this point, which is much more open. And green has scouted that out, in fact. Or is that yellow has scouted that out? Maybe told his teammate, yeah, head on over to red. These easy pickings. Let's see. All players are in feudal age at this point. 24 population for green and yellow, 29 and 26 for blue and red, respectively. Red probably anticipating scouts to come his way. Oh, looks like they're not. They're just wasting their time attacking palisade walls for blue. Well, blue should easily be able to keep these scouts out. That's a lot of food out there. 4 scouts at 80 a pop, 80 food each. That should delay his castle time quite considerably. Shark Norton walling up pretty thoroughly. Well, no, I shouldn't say that. Walling up a little bit, but not thoroughly. Dropping a stable of his own. As Frank's, it's very late to start putting the scouts out on the field, but he might be putting that down just to use it for knights come castle age. And another stable from the Lithuanian player. So going double knights, I mean, what else would you go as Lithuanians and Franks except go double knights? I don't know. Could be countered very easily by the Berber camels or camel archers, as the first to castle age will be blank spot in red as the Huns. Expect to see some archery ranges going down from the Hun player very shortly. Maybe triple production, triple archery ranges. Lots of cav archers out in the field. That's my guess. Yeah, I'm not too impressed so far from green and yellow with their strategy. I don't see it working out for them. Berbers get cheaper knights, and he's dropping a stable his stakes, so he might be thinking about going knights himself. And yet another stable. So yeah, it'll be Berber Knights versus Lithuanian Knights. And looks like Shark Norton on his way up to Castle Age first on the other team. Let's take a look at what Red's doing here. Still, yeah, dropping his barracks so that he can build archery ranges probably. We'll see what he does next here. A gate, alright. Green dropping the blacksmith so that he can get up to Castle Age. So Red's first move, sending some villas out. He will run into these scouts, enemy scouts. Not upgraded quite yet, unless that's just a capture age bug. Let's see. Let's see if I can get that. Oh, come on. There we go. He hasn't seen it yet. I don't know. This town center might get denied. He's about to spot it. Oh, no. He turned away. Oh, so close. I think at this point that town center will go up. I mean, split your scouts out. You know what I mean? Split them up and move around. You know your enemies in Castle Age, both of them. That's a huge miss and a big win for Red to get that town center down. Uncontested, completely uncontested. And they still don't know that he's there. They have no idea. They're about to find out though, maybe. Unless they do another lap. Tight lap. There they go. Now they see it. Too funny. Alright, so we got some Frankish Knights on the field. Upgraded. Blue hasn't dropped his second town center yet. We see camels coming out from the Berber player. Not surprising, so a couple stables dropping camels makes perfect sense when you're up against the Lithuanians and Franks. Green's thinking about his first town center in the middle as well. And there's the first archery range from Red. So Red's first move was a forward town center to establish presence on the map. And now he's going to drop his archery range to put out some cavalry archers. Meanwhile, Blue is in Green's base without any knights in sight. One or two knights, a couple spearmen to protect. Some quick walls from Green. That's a good job to protect those villagers, though they are exposed on the other side. And that's a scary force of camels. 10 camels ain't a laughing matter. It's forcing Green to drop another barracks. And it looks like they're marking... The enemy team is marking relic locations for the Lithuanian player, who does not yet have a monastery out. Which I'm surprised that he hasn't prioritized that. Though, it makes sense, he's worried about all the camels in his base. He's probably thinking more along the lines of spearmen rather than monks at this point. Blue dropping his town center. Yellow opting for his second town center, more conservative, I'll say. Back at home. These are only spearmen. And they are upgraded, but so are these camel riders. Blue might decide to take this fight. 5 spearmen versus 10 camels. Let's see. Still early, so Stiggs may just keep away. Though it might make sense to take the fight while you can. Before these spearmen numbers... before they become pikemen, exactly. And there's more of them, so... Stiggs will just run away at this point, maybe? No, he'll attack when he sees knights, but run away when he sees a bunch of pikemen. It's a good thing, though, when you have the Lithuanian player making pikemen instead of knights. And certainly keeping him back at home without any kind of monks running around. Here we see the Hun cavalry archers and the Frank knight army. So it's all coming to a head here in the middle. The first castle of the game is going down from red to take control of this huge gold pile, as well as all these. It's a pretty good castle placement. Looks like the Lithuanian player is thinking of a castle himself. Blue has 21 camels out, though. And if they coordinate efforts, blue and red could take out this army of knights and pikemen. We'll have to see. See how the micro goes. It's not that many cavalry archers, but that castle, on the other hand. Players doing the dance. Blue lost a few camels there. Green lost a few scouts. They were in range of the castle. Yeah, they are still in range of the castle. That'll be very helpful. Blue's army, oh, thoroughly cleaned up. Yikes. Those French knights are pretty strong. And the pikemen really made the difference. So all 21 blue camels go down. There are a few yellow bodies in there too. I'm looking for a monastery from the Lithuanian player. No monastery yet for green. Siege Workshop going down. So all 4 players have TCs in the middle. This will be a good game. It won't be complete domination by anybody. Red is a bit exposed at home, I'd say. There's not, I mean, you have 1 barracks to protect yourself from any kind of raid, so the French player could come and strike Red's right flank. Blue, on the other hand, is a bit more secure because he's got his stables back here and constantly producing camels. But those camels will need to be very wary of those pikemen. And that Siege Workshop could make all the difference. So green looking to pick off a few blue reinforcements. Does some good damage to that 1 camel, but that's about it. 4 archery ranges going down, and another TC from red. So red just continues to slowly expand out after dropping that castle. Green moving around the left to bother blue, which is the right move. Oh, Doubt Castle here, maybe. Yeah, see, there's no pikemen now. Green's pikemen aren't involved, and these camels will dominate. And that castle will have to stay unbuilt for now. Blue not wanting to fight between 2 town centers, which is the right call. Meanwhile, green is in, so that's a bit scary for blue. I'll stay on this side, though, because I'm more interested in whether this castle goes up or not. I don't think it will. There's just too many cav archers. Yellow losing vills. So is blue at home, though. Blue looking to quick wall at the same time as microing his army. His camels are sitting under the TC. They just do so little damage to that town center. This is a scary army from the Lithuanian player in blue space, though. Good quick wall just in time from blue. Trying to save as many vills as he can. Oh, that tree's almost over chopped. Alright, some red camp archers here to help. Should make a big difference. Even just 4. So still a Doubt Castle. Second TC from red, so they're getting more and more control. I love this castle here. That will ensure that the green's castle, or yellow's castle, stays a Doubt Castle. And the raid inside blue space, it's knocking him off gold, but he's got gold in the middle, so that's not too bad. And he's kind of harassing, but it's not much more than that. Uh-oh, they're in. Okay, they'll get 1, but this is another... Blue overchopped a bit, but quickly responded. Blue dropped a defensive castle. Might see camel archers. Camel archers might be a good spot because they're good against cavalry. And then they're mobile enough in range so they could handle the pikemen as well. These knights are going to be annoying in knocking blue off food, which is obviously important for camels. But I think this is the main story here. This castle from the Hun player in red going up to keep the Frank player, basically keep his villagers off of gold in the middle and keep them away from the castle, from building the castle. Great game so far from all 4 players though. I love this raid from the Lithuanians. Looks like he will retreat for now because he sees this castle. He can't deny all of his food. But he's definitely annoying Blue. Meanwhile, oh, Blue is raiding him back. Raiding him in turn. And here's Champoleon's first castles up on that ridge line. It's a good spot. A lot of idle time from green though. That Shark Norton going up to Imperial Age? Okay. Okay. First imp clicked by yellow. Be interesting to see what he does with that. I don't think he's got the resources to click up the Paladin. There's a lot of idle vills and a lot of dead vills in the middle here. Blue's got the upper hand on this fight. There's just not enough pikemen. And there's villagers in the mix. Green villagers going down. Great micro from Blue to pull the pikemen away and keep these camels attacking the gold miners. Green's just about out of gold at home. He does have this pile, but it's on the outside of his walls. And if we're looking at the vill count for Team Blue, it's 172. For Team Green, it's 104. So a huge advantage. Oh, and the camels are in here. So almost 0 wood income from... Okay, here's some wood income from green. No, that's yellow. So yeah, almost 0 wood income for green. Just those 6. Oh, now we have Tarkins. Great unit for raiding. The middle is basically completely secured at this point. Sure, there's a town center here, but they don't dare come out. And it should go down real quick with all the Tarkins out there. Yeah, look at that TC go down. Tarkins are just a building killer, man. So red is Imperial Age now. Getting ballistics. Alright, red will about to be in Imperial Age. Blue still churning out camels and dropping his own castle. The middle is completely denied. The raids have stopped for all players, except, okay, here's Blue raiding yellow now. I like that, changing up the field of attack. Not the best raiding unit is Camel Riders, but effective nonetheless. Especially when there's no army to contest them. And the GG is called. So, yeah, great game. I like how Red was the first in there. Again, very lucky that he got that first TC down without getting spotted. It was a very close call as those scouts were running around. Blue did a good job building camels to combat what he saw his opponents were going to go double knight production, which I think was a huge weakness to their plan. The Lithuanians and Franks going double knights. It's just clear with both those civs what you're going to go for. And the Lithuanian player never even got a monastery down to take advantage of the relics, so couldn't take advantage of that key perk, civ perk. And they did contest the middle, I'll give them that. They tried to get a castle in and they both had TCs down, but just a better job from Red to prioritize dominance in the middle, and it ended up playing out to their favor. So, and Blue, I'd say, did a good job weathering the storm when the Lithuanian player raided his eco. That could have gone a lot worse for him. Quick walling his woodline here, for example, and dropping a defensive castle to protect his food were both great decisions. He did lose a few gold miners, but it didn't matter because he had so many more in the middle. And yeah, Blue also did a good job of raiding green multiple times and raiding yellow, so he kept his camels moving. And this is game 1 in the favor of the TAW players, but I'll be back for game 2, and I hope you join me for that. This is Sneaky Chiefy signing off.